Hello Scorpio, this is the Spiritual Nomad channel and welcome to your reading for the second week in June, going from the 13th to the 28th. Just shuffle the cards a few times and then we can get started and see what's going to be happening for you this week. World reversed, so cycle not coming to an end, something that maybe you thought you'd wrapped up in perhaps quite a good way. So this is regarding a sort of powerful, probably predominantly female figure in your life. This could be anything, sister, mother, this could be a partner if you're a man, this could be obviously if you're female and this is portraying your male partner, then taking on the attributes of the Queen of Wands. However, I feel sat the way it is that actually I think it's probably related to a family member in this particular instance, and I think it's like a sister, mother, auntie. I do think it is a female figure in your life, regardless of your gender, and I think it's something that you thought perhaps was resolved, or a chapter or something. I'm not necessarily saying, I don't think we're necessarily seeing a negative chapter. I'm going to pick a few more cards and see if we can get a few more details. Could even be that there's somebody from your family, or that feels like family, that's going to offer you some really important advice this week. Maybe there's somebody that you can seek some kind of solace in. Perhaps if you're very close to your sister or your mother, maybe you're going to have be able to discuss an issue, something that's a cycle that's just caught in a loop. It's not necessarily that it's necessarily a bad cycle of events, it's just that it's not moving forwards, it's just looping around. Let's see if we can get some more information for you, Scorpio. Right. Yeah, I think maybe you're stuck in a rut. I think you're the creator of your own rut as well. I think that so I think last week we had a similar thing, but it was a slightly more romantic issue, but it did there was an indication that it suggested that Scorpios are hanging on to things, and maybe this is because of previous hardships. So perhaps if you've been through tough times in the past, you're finding it very difficult to invest a nest egg that you may have come by. So if you've got money, if you've come into some money or something financial, or you have some form of material wealth, or like real estate or something like that, there's a suggestion here that actually you need to spend money to make money, and that's what you're struggling with, and you're actually just you're not sort of going anywhere, you're not spending the money, you're not enjoying it, you're not enjoying what you've got, you're not it's not growing, it's just sitting, and sort of I'm getting the image of sort of Scrooge McDuck, which probably shows my age hugely, where he was sort of swimming in his big pond of money, but it's not, sitting there counting his pennies, but money in its actual self, it's always good to have something put by, it's always good to have something for a rainy day, and it's completely understandable. People that hoard quite often have come from childhoods where they perhaps lived without, and so they find it very difficult to throw anything away, because they're always preparing for a rainy day, and a purge sometimes is definitely a good thing. But this isn't necessarily talking about purging, it's talking about needing to progress. So If you've got a house, perhaps you need to do it up, sell it. Maybe you need to actually invest in some real estate. Maybe you maybe it's a business you need to invest in, and I think that there's going to be somebody that you can talk to about this that's going to be really helpful. They might well be a family member, but they could also be somebody that you've known like a really long time. So this is going to be either a really good close friend or a mother or a sister. I do see it as a female energy, although that isn't necessarily the case, as it can always go many different ways. But yeah, your King of Pentacles is very much not sitting on his throne because of these things. So you've got a good foundation. You could have a better castle, is what the message that I'm getting for you today. Let's check a few more. Let's see. Okay, yep. So yeah, so something creative, and by creative, this doesn't necessarily, you don't have to be a painter or an actor or actress, or this could be creating a beautiful home, maybe with somebody. And there is the suggestion. So we've got the King and Queen here. So we've got ourselves a sort of soul couple. So it could be that you have you've come together with someone. Maybe we're bringing lots of resources together. Maybe we've got two homes and we need to decide what to do. Do we live in this one, live in that one, sell both, get a fresh one? There's definitely, and there's a stagnation here, and the stagnation is on the part of the Scorpio. It is definitely the Scorpio who is not wanting to move forward, and it's not because it's not a lack of commitment at all. Actually, it's nothing to do with that at all. You're already fully committed to this person. It's a fear factor for you. It's because you want to hold on to something solid. So even if you're in an amazing relationship with somebody and really in love with them and actually can see yourself fully growing old with them, which I can definitely see in these cards, there's definitely indication that this could be your person for the long haul. But you have a need to sort of hold on to something that's yours because of where you've come from in the past, whether you've recently been through tough times or whether you've done without in the past or in your childhood. You never felt very stable or grounded in your childhood. Let's have a look. Take 3 more cards. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so we're starting the reading with the World reversed and we're ending it on the Wheel of Fortune the correct way up, so, or not reversed. That's not the card I wanted to take. I wanted to take the one at the bottom of the deck, but we have, as that one did come up, it is the Chariot reversed. So again, the message of not moving forward with something, but fate's going to step in for you, basically, Scorpio. I do suggest that you have a talk with somebody that you really trust, and that person that gives you the good advice that you might not always want to go and hear, because sometimes it's like once you've heard it you have to act on it. But somebody's very much, so I see a real loving union here, and I see somebody really offering you everything, and by everything I don't mean grand holidays and a fast car, and I see somebody offering you what you need and enough, and you're not alone anymore. You don't have to strive by yourself anymore. You may have been in a position where you've actually built up and you've survived really, really well by yourself. You don't need anybody else, and you can gain. You're one of those people that can get the house, the car, everything you need alone. You don't need to be in a partnership in order to pool assets to make these things happen. You can make it happen by yourself. However, there's something to be said for if you if you gain everything alone, and then you're sat there and you've achieved everything, and you're sat there in this wonderful house with this wonderful garden, and you look around and there's nobody there to share it with you. It's very good to say that you've accomplished something by yourself, and that is a journey that I think all of us could do with going on in our lives, but it's not our final journey. It's a journey that we need to make before the final journey. The final journey, once we've proved we can do it by ourselves, is to show that actually I can do it by myself, but I'd sooner do it with somebody else, because I want to share my accomplishments. So if you do sort of soul sports, for instance, and you were to win a race, then the only person, you know, your friends and family may be happy to some degree, but the only person that really benefits from that victory is you, and that's a very empty victory if it's all alone. Whereas if you do something as a member of a team, you working with a team, the whole team win, the whole team celebrate, and they celebrate together, and that's the message that I'm getting. But I'm getting that fate is actually going to step in for you, and it's going to throw something up for you, something positive that's going to bring you into a position. But that's going to make you maybe freak out a little bit this week, or moving through June, because it's all getting really serious now, and it's all am I prepared to actually am I prepared to do this? Am I prepared to? This would mean letting go of that little pot of gold that I buried at the bottom of the garden for the rainy day in case this all falls through. The only way you can make this happen is to go and dig up that pot and to actually put it in the pile with your partners, and then this is all going to happen. The message today is, yes, don't miss this opportunity. This is an opportunity sent by the universe. Do it, Scorpio. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to give you a Wild Offering Oracle card. I think that is, to summarise, that is a positive reading, because these are good things coming to you. This is, if it sounds negative, it's not. It's just to do with that. It is Scorpio that's holding something up, but it's only because of hardship in the past that's making you concerned. So either, you know, if it's not that you've been in financial difficulties in the past, perhaps, you know, you feel like you've had endless relationships or marriages, and they've always ended in heartbreak, and then you've ended up having to build yourself up from scratch, and this time you've said, right, no, that's it. I'm not going to come at it from that angle this time. I'm going to make sure that I have something set aside that's mine. But then when an opportunity comes forth for you and your new partner, you've got to take it, and that means letting go of that last little thing that you were holding on to that was just yours. But you don't get the big prize unless you do. Right, let's see what direction. So this is your oracle card, direction. So I think that's really in tune with the reading, actually. So it's taking a new direction, and it's fully. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body, and if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. So that's saying trust. So trust your intuition. Trust your intuition on this one. Let go of those reins. Release and share the wealth that you may have. Whether that could be time. If you don't have a nest egg of money and you're like, what is she talking about? I haven't got any money. Maybe you have time that you can invest in something, and perhaps that's what it's referring to. And this is saying, trust in your intuition, trust in the universe, that it will guide you. If you listen to your inner voice, it will guide you away from the wrong direction. And if you are being really strongly pulled towards something, then it is for the right reasons and because it's the right choice. Okay, thank you, Scorpio. I hope that's resonated for you today. This has been the Spiritual Nomad channel. This is a general reading, so if it didn't resonate or make any sense to you, then just leave it. Maybe watch one of the other ones as your sun, moon and rising signs. If you have liked it, please click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you at Spiritual Nomad channel next week. Bye bye.